Konnichiwa minasan, kfel desu! Yay! Recently on Instagram, I hit 300k followers. Yeah! I've actually never really talked about myself that much. So today, I'm gonna be lore dumping, answering your juicy questions about learning Japanese, about me, myself, and I, about life in Japan, existential crises. I posted on Instagram saying, ask me a question. I said, filming my first ever Q&A video for YouTube. And then I also put, no creepy questions though, or else I'll block you and hire a witch to curse you and your entire bloodline. And I meant it. Anyways, let's just get right to it, shall we? Dewa, hajimeyou ka. How old am I? I am turning 28 this year on September 4th, which makes me a 1997 baby. What is your proudest accomplishment? Ooh. I feel like I'm so self-loathing that I've actually never thought about this. Living in Japan, I think this has been such a long goal of mine for such a period of time, like my entire life essentially, like my entire conscious life at least. What's your favorite hot girl walk in Tokyo? Oh, good question. Ooh. Oh, you know what? Like, not to be that girl, but it's my video so I can say it. I love a good old OG Harambe-kun because it was so funny, like the video that started it all, because I remember I was just like walking down that street once and then I was like on my phone and I look up and I genuinely got scared. I was like, what the hell? Nani the heckin' hog is that? No one says that, hold on. That was kind of the video that started it all and a lot of people love that series. So yeah, Harambe-kun was slay. Love Harambe-kun. Have you tried VA as a career? Generally think you're pretty talented. I have. Thank you. Do you overthink? If so, what do you do to cope? Asking for a friend, of course. Yes, I am a chronic overthinker. Everything I do, I overthink so much to the point where I become unable to do anything. If there's one thing that I think has genuinely helped me survive up until this point, it's to make sure, and I mentioned this before, to make time to introduce things that I love into my life, so that I don't fall into these unhealthy cycles of overthinking, feeling depressed, or feeling like I'm not good enough. Because when you surround yourself with love, that's all that you feel for yourself and for the world. And so wait, that was kind of a bar. Oh my god. But anyway, I just think that when I find myself overthinking, I'm like, okay, this is just not a good feeling. What can I do to give myself a good feeling? 7-Eleven, Lawson, or Family Mart, or another? Ooh, this depends though. Honestly, Family Mart, Family Chiki, duh. 7-Eleven bread, I honestly think is really good. Or 7-Eleven onigiri, because 7-Eleven has the like shrimp, the ebi mayo onigiri that you can have, and it's so good, and I love it so much. What's your profession? Content creator! When did you realize you had a knack for comedy? I think it's whenever I say things and people laugh. And I'm like, wait, are they laughing at me or with me? And so I just decided to not think about it too much. And I was like, I'll just continue being and doing. So yeah. What was your dream job as a kid versus now? Or are they the same? My dream job as a kid was a teacher, I'm pretty sure. My dream job now is I don't dream to work. However, I would love to own a business of some sort. I've actually been thinking about it. My like far-fetched dream is to open up a Filipino bakery in Japan because it's so hard to find ube here. Ube and pandan are just not flavors that exist in Japan, really, and that are like available. So I would love to help lead that. Do you watch your old videos? No. I actually actively try to not watch my old videos. I think every time I post a new video, I watch it like religiously for a day and then I go, ew, and then I never watch it again. And that goes on for like 5 years until I decide to make a reacting to my old videos video. Why are you so funny? You think I'm funny? I was born this way. Just kidding, it's because I'm Filipino. Is there a country you would love to visit, like for real? I really want to visit Vietnam, like so bad. So bad! Vietnam, Taiwan, oh my god, I would love to visit Taiwan. I really want to go to Malaysia and Indonesia. I want to do a little Southeast Asia tour. I would love to go to Cambodia and Laos. Where exactly can one hire a witch to curse someone asking for me? I'm pretty sure like Etsy. Yeah. What helps your creative process in making the most hilarious reels? I stay up until like 6 a.m. every single morning at this point. But, hear me out. The thing that really helps me with that is because I'm such an overthinker during the day, by the time midnight strikes, I don't know what it is, it feels like this barrier just shatters. And then all of my unfiltered, unhinged thoughts just like run awry in my head. My notes app right now is just filled with stupid things that I've thought of at like 5 to 3 a.m. in the morning. Like sometimes I'll just go back to my notes and read it and be like, I laughed a second time, so I'm gonna go film it. What inspired you to learn Japanese? TLDR, I wanted to join this Japanese idol group called AKB48 because they had a member named Akimoto Sayaka that was half Filipino, half Japanese, and I was like, if she's Filipino, I can do it too. I did not audition for AKB48, so I did not get in, but I can speak Japanese now, which is awesome. How long did it take you to comfortably speak Japanese? This is honestly a really hard question for me to answer because I feel like there was never really a point in time where I was like, I'm fluent! Oh my god, I'm fluent! And still to this day, I feel like it's not even me being humble or anything. I genuinely think that my Japanese is not as good as it can be. I would say, honestly, it took me like 3 years. Because the context for that is, I've been self-studying my entire life, essentially, and by the time I was 16, I had only studied through a textbook. I had no Japanese friends. I wasn't speaking Japanese out loud. And so I think being able to write and read came naturally to me, but then obviously being able to speak was a little bit harder because I only really had like my anime and my like Japanese idols to like mane shitari toka. I think the best way to learn any language is to find out the way that you learn and intake information best. For me, I personally learn and improve more when I'm forced to be immersed in that place and do things hands-on, which is why I really actually loved using textbooks when I first started learning Japanese, because the act of like writing sentences out and then like copy and pasting sentences was really helpful in establishing like strokes and like different characters and things like that. What I do to this day is in the shower while I'm washing my hair, I'll just talk to myself in Japanese, because if I don't like exert the things that I put into my brain, there's no way that I'm gonna be able to remember it. So if you love flashcards, or if you learn really well when you're being tested, then like, yeah, get Anki or get Duolingo or something. Or listen to a Japanese podcast, things like that. Make Japanese friends, you know? Do you ever get Nihongo jozu by Japanese people often? All the time. Like literally every time. I'm starting to realize, okay, this is not even my own, only just my personal opinion. Other people, many people have told me this, but they're like, you kind of give racially ambiguous because I look some kind of like Asian, generally East Asian-ish. People think I'm Japanese. So anytime that like Japanese people talk to me really, really fast and I have to stop them and be like, gomenasai, gaikokujin nan desu, sumimasen. They'd be like, Nihonjin da to omotta. Nihongo jouzu. How did you speak more confidently in a different language? Confidence comes when you release fear. I had so much fear of making mistakes when I was speaking Japanese that it inhibited me from actually speaking it. It's so unrealistic to not make any mistakes when you're learning something new. Be happy to make mistakes because that just means that you're growing. What is something you've grown to like more while living in Japan? Oh, being alone. Actually, because I recently took my 16 personalities MBTI thing again, and my entire adulthood, I was ENFP, but I took it again, and I became INFP by like very marginally. Like I'm pretty sure I'm 51% introverted and like 49% extroverted. I love having my peace and quiet. I think also the nature of my job, which is influencing and, you know, content creation, I think I'm always outside, meeting people, doing things, talking to people, having dinners, things like that, just being social. I think I really come to value my alone time and really like nurturing the things that I want to do and spending that time alone for me, myself, and I. Thank you, Japan, for making it really easy to be alone and for having areas to be alone in. Yes. How do your Filipino parents react to your life now? Okay. Oh, actually, I have a little bit to say about this. It's really funny. I mentioned this in a TikTok video a long time ago. But basically, when I first started learning Japanese, I like went to my parents and I was like, oh my god, ma, I would love to learn Japanese. Can you buy me a textbook? Because I was 16, didn't have a job, so I needed my parents to like buy me things. And they were kind of like apprehensive. They were like, oh, like, why are you learning Japanese? You can't even speak Bisaya. You don't understand Tagalog. And I feel like it's such a parent response, like an immigrant parent response to be like, but then they caved, obviously, because I'm the perfect daughter. And And I think because they saw how serious I was about it, they felt more compelled to do it, and I really did take it seriously. As someone who has like severe commitment issues when it comes to hobbies, I think learning Japanese was one of those things where I really committed to it throughout my entire life, and then also going on exchange and having a host family and things like that really like solidified my passion. As I started doing social media and posting in Japanese and English, and more followers started to, you know, grow, I think my parents kind of saw that as like, oh, she's making some kind of impact. And like eventually, as I started to get more jobs and I started doing sponsorships and stuff like that, I think they were like, oh, like this is a career that she made out of this passion of her like loving Japan and speaking Japanese. And now they're like really proud of me. They always tell me how proud of me they are, and it's really, really nice. The initial reaction though was like, what the hell is this otaku ass weeb ass daughter doing? Ano height mo, I am 157 centimeters, which is 5 foot 1 3/4. Favorite Filipino food. I talked about this on my stream once, but my favorite Filipino food that is not halo halo. Halo halo is in its own category. Is this one called humba. And it's basically like a Visayan version of like adobo, I hear. Don't know how true that is. Do not come for me, Filipino warriors. I just don't know, but humba. When was the last time you've been to the Philippines? I went to the Philippines for Christmas last year, so December 2024. And that was the last time, and it was awesome. I want to go back again. Favorite Tagalog word? P***mo or bleh. Do you ever think you'll ever move back to Toronto? Pros and cons of Toronto versus Japan. I really don't have any desire to move back to Toronto / Canada / North America at all, especially in its current climate. I miss ethnic food so much, like delicious ethnic food. There's so many days I wake up and I'm like, you know what would make me instantly smile? A shawarma! A shawarma! But they have kebabs here, but a lot of them are just okay, like they're just not good. And I miss like Mediterranean food, I miss Middle Eastern food, I miss pho. I miss pho so bad, it's so good. How was the process of moving from Canada to Japan? Any tips or advice? I think my tips or advice is just make sure you have enough money saved, because moving houses in Japan, like getting a place in Japan is really expensive in my opinion, because you have to pay for so many additional fees like key money, guarantor fee, pet fee if you have one. So just make sure you have savings or you have income that can support your move. And also just do things as early as you can, because government and like ward office process things here take a frick ton of time sometimes. So just make sure you're giving yourself enough time and money and energy, because it can be draining. If you can even learn a little bit of Japanese, that will help you so much, because even as someone who speaks a considerable amount of Japanese, I still struggled a lot. Can you do IRL streams in Japan, please? I really want to, and I've actually talked about this with like my manager and my friends who do IRL streaming, but it's really difficult, I think, because I'm just a girl, okay? At the end of the day, I'm just a girl, and I feel like I hear so many stories about girls getting harassed on streets or like streams sniped and things like that, and it just makes me nervous to do that. So if I were to do an IRL stream, it would be with my friends. Is it considered cringe in Japan when foreigners try to speak Japanese, or do they encourage them to do so? It's not cringe. Not cringe at all. It's honestly really actually heartwarming. Even as someone that is not Japanese, I think it's really nice when foreigners who visit Japan try to speak Japanese, because that's like, it's so appreciated, because you're coming to a country, and when you go to that country and you're in that country, it makes sense that you should be able to communicate to a degree, or that it's really thoughtful that you want to go out of your way to learn the language of the people and the society that lives there. So I think it's not cringe at all. Really recommended. I encourage you to do so. And I'm sure a lot of Japanese people share the same sentiment. Any earthquake experiences in Japan? Yes. There was one time I was getting my hair done. Fully marinating, getting it dyed, there were foils in my hair. And then all of a sudden, everyone's phone in the salon starts going off. It goes like, meow, meow, meow. And then we looked, and it said, earthquake approaching, please like beware. And then all of a sudden, like everything started shaking. I'm pretty sure it was like a 4 magnitude earthquake, and that was the biggest one I've ever felt. I was on the phone once with my parents like a couple of weeks ago. As soon as they hung up, my entire house started shaking, and I was like, oh, just another one of them days. The weirdest thing you saw in Tokyo? I feel like too often do I see people engaging in like BDSM, like guy on a leash on walking on the floor in Shibuya, and I think I've seen it like too many times. I wish I saw less. In what way did Japan let you down? I love living here, but some things were let down at first. I think the way that Honestly, anything to do with being a woman in Japan has been really tough, actually. A lot of things in Japan are still very much male dominated. Like, I don't know if you guys heard, there was like a World Women's like Association meeting. I forget what it was exactly. And every representative country sent a woman to represent their country, and Japan was the only one that sent a man to represent women of Japan. Moments that made you cry in Japan. When I posted the video of going to the Japina restaurant in Adachiku, they actually messaged me basically being like, thank you so much for posting about it. Since then, a lot of new customers have come to try our food, and it really makes us happy and amazed, and it was really nice because I didn't think of that video where I had any kind of impact in that, and it was really sweet. So that made me cry. I like cried as soon as I read that message. It was so cute. What's an underrated place in Tokyo? Oh! Futako Tamagawa. I actually filmed a video there before, and it's just this really big river, and in the spring/summertime they have open, well, year-round they have like open areas along the river where people can set up barbecues and little picnic spots, and it's just lovely, and there's jumping fish in that river. Anyway, I love it so much. I think if I were to move anywhere, I would love to live in Futako Tamagawa. What's the first anime you ever watched? Azumanga Daioh! One of my favorite of all time, to this day. To this day! What is your favorite anime? Natsume's Book of Friends! Natsume Ijincho, it's my favorite. Favorite josei anime? Oh! Oh my god. Sorry, I didn't realize that those like villainous ones are considered josei. So, oh my god, why really Anna ended up at the Duke's Palace? I love any of those like, I got reincarnated as a villainous anime. It's the same plot every single time, same story, but I eat it up. I eat it up every time, itadakimasu. Oh my god, damn. In the digital realm, do you strive to unveil the authentic or cloak it under the comforting veil of comedy? Oh, that's like too deep. Cloak it under the comforting veil of comedy. Final answer. Have you ever had explosive diarrhea in Japan? Oh my god, yes. Last year, 2 years ago when I flew from Thailand to Japan, I got food poisoning. I think at the airport in Phuket. This is gonna be graphic, but I was diarrheaing after everything I consumed, like for 2 weeks, until I finally decided that enough was enough. I cannot keep doing this. I was losing a lot of weight because I was just not having any nutrients. I think I paid like $250 to get medicine. It was really messed up, but yeah, I did have explosive diarrhea. Most painful experience of my life. And that was the final question, everyone. Oh my god, my throat actually hurts because I did not drink a single drop of water, and I was like, oh my god, I'm not gonna yap that much. It's gonna take 30 minutes, I'll be done. She lied as easily as she breathed. I hope you guys learned something new about me or living in Japan, and I don't know, about the world, okay? Thank you so much to everyone who submitted a question. I love doing Q&As because, as you can tell, I love yapping. I'm gonna go get water, and I'm also gonna go meet my friend. So thank you all so much for watching. This has been my Q&A. See you all next time. Johnny!